We have made so many mistakes in our garden over the years. So as you're planning for your spring garden this year, we wanted to give you 5 things to avoid as you're getting your spring garden ready. Tip number 1, do not use fresh chicken manure. I know it's tempting to want to use that in your soil, but you have to wait. Chicken manure is super high in nitrogen and can actually burn your plants if you use it too quickly. So we did this here where we set all of our chicken manure and everything else like that and let it sit for 1 year before we use it in the soil. Speaking of soil, tip number 2 of something to avoid is do not plant directly into the ground. Now, do not plant directly into the ground if you haven't amended your soil. So make sure to use things like goat manure you can use right away, or chicken manure that's been sitting for a month, maybe some compost, maybe some mulch, depending on what your soil needs. But make sure to add that to your soil before planting seeds directly in the ground. It will really help your plants pop up and go crazy. Tip number 3, don't plant too early. You really need to wait until that last frost happens in your area. For us, that's gonna be about late March or so, because you would hate to put your seeds in the ground, have them sprout up because you had a warm week, only to be killed by the last frost that you guys get in your area. So make sure to do some research, look at where you are, your hardiness zone, and figure out around when your last frost is gonna be. For us in Southern California, it's about late March. Along with that, tip number 4, don't plant too late. A lot of people, especially in Southern California, don't have this issue, mainly because the growing season is so long. But if you live in a more cold climate, this may be a real issue for you. So you gotta make sure to look at what you wanna plant and see how many days to harvest it is. For example, if it's a 4-month from planting seed in the ground to harvest, you wanna make sure to do that in the growing season. So if that's May through August, you want to get that in the ground in the early part of May, if not late April, just to be on the safe side. But make sure to take a look at your days to harvest for what you're planting and make sure you have enough time to do that before it starts getting cold again. And tip number 5, make sure to keep your chickens and ducks out of your garden when you start planting. We've made that mistake before where we've let our chickens and ducks come in through this little door we have, and they basically ate all of the seedlings that had just sprouted out. So make sure you have a way to control them from getting in your garden like we do here with this door. We literally just screw a board over it. So that way you can actually start growing stuff and not have to grow it twice like we've done before. So that's it. That's basically some of the big things that we've learned while growing stuff here in Southern California on our small farm. If you guys have any more tips or anything, questions at all, please put them in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you, love to answer any questions that you have. And if you like this content, please consider subscribing so you get notified when all of our videos come out each and every Saturday. Thank you guys very much, and we'll catch you next time.